episode of Oregon Life.
Thanks for watching this
episode of Oregon Life.
Hello, I'm Frank Caruso, producer of Oregon Life, and welcome to a brand new episode. We got to sit down with the guys on ice. Doug and Steve were generous enough to give their time during rehearsals as they were about to go on and talk about a little bit about the inception of the musical. Let me tell you, they are good. They are so good. When they go fishing, they take the tartar sauce. We are thankful to produce this episode through the generous contributions of Tour Horse Insurance. Tour Horse Insurance is more than a sponsor of Oregon Life. Tour Horse, like OCA Media, has celebrated our community for over 45 years, fulfilling their insurance needs. Through their generous contributions, Tour Horse Insurance has been a wonderful partner to OCA Media, making it possible for us to produce episodes like Greenhaven Gardens, Keene Garlic, and highlighting the best of Oregon and surrounding areas. And that includes this episode of Guys on Ice with Steve and Doug.
Fred was going to originally do a documentary type of thing about ice fishermen. And he started doing all these interviews, and then he realized, I don't want to do a documentary. I want to do a show about these ice fishermen. They sound so interesting. So he totally changed it into about fishermen. And it was 1998, and the summer of 1998, we workshopped it with the Milwaukee Rep, but we premiered it at the Ephraim Town Hall in Ephraim, Wisconsin, with at the time American Folklore Theater, which is now Northern Sky Theater. And then we did that for the fall, big hit. Then we went to the Rep. The rest is history, but it was really inspired by the old-time fishermen. I mean, some of those lines are directly lifted from their dialogue. But Fred was his defense of this play, because on the surface nothing really happens much in this play. It's like Waiting for Godot, if anyone knows theater, by Beckett, and you're just sitting there. What's happening to this play? And he was so confident that he goes, no, it's the characters, it's the relationships. That's what's going to make people really interesting. And because really nothing ostensibly happens plot-wise, but he didn't want to do that. He goes, no, every theater does that. I want to go into a relationship, and that's the genius of this play, because we have had people seeing it for I've saw one person 13 times. This other guy came up to me last year. He goes, I need my Guys in Ice fix. And so it's
Dennis and Eileen.
Yeah.
Dennis and Eileen, they got to be in the hundreds.
Yeah. So people want to see it, unlike some other shows in which you just, the story, you don't want to see it again. And I have people come up to me as if I'm their best friend, like I've known them forever. And it's like, oh my God, isn't that like something wonderful? You know a guy for an hour, 45 minutes?
Well, I think that's really part of it is you really recognize these guys. I mean, if anybody in your family is like a hunter-fisherman type, you just know these guys. I was going to say about Fred's genius, when he was taking the feedback, right, he had like this iron spine about, no, I want to do what I want to do with this. But the other, the suggestions that came at him, how he took them and incorporated from the first read into what, we're doing now. I'm like, it was just so cool to watch that kind of collaboration happen, in his very just facile brain, how he could take it in and totally stay true to himself at the same time.
One example is there's this line when I say, Steve's character asked me, do you think fish feel pain? And I said, no, they can't think. Actually, we and Fred had this discussion in rehearsal, and we were talking about animals and came to fish. Do they feel pain? Do animals feel pain? And I came with the conclusion, no, it all depends if they have consciousness. I think you can feel pain if you have consciousness, but I don't know if they really feel pain if they don't have consciousness. We kept coming back and forth, and Fred transcribed that conversation into tinking. Do fish tink? And I say, no, they don't tink. They can't feel pain. So he just took that. When we were riffing about consciousness, he totally turned that into now it's one of the funniest bits in the play.
Some kind of genius. Yeah. The other thing I will say is Jimmy. This is from watching the thing from that first read, like Jimmy didn't have he wrote some amazing songs in like a really tight window of time, and that I would have figured he was writing for over a year on some of that music, but no. So really hats off to Jimmy too. They were really an amazing collaborative team.
I thought the show was going to bomb because nothing was happening. I felt prey to the thing. What? They're going to listen to this corny accent.
Where's the conflict?
I said, there's nothing happening. I said, it's like,
dramatic conflict.
And so my heart was racing. And then I went, right before the first performance at Ephraim Town Hall, my heart is racing. I literally said, God, this sounds, where did I feel like this before? Oh, yeah, right before I had my surgery. I had a little thing in my neck, a stone in my neck. They had it removed, and I was scared for that. And I said, oh my God. And then, but as soon as the first line, I opened my mouth, people were laughing and just dissipated really quick. But the thing is, like, the amazing thing, you think everyone in Wisconsin has seen this show, but still, there's still a lot of people. We especially when we do it down here in Madison, God, half the people, they're laughing for the first time, I think. And you know what's really great is to see people like young, under 40, 30, to see this show. It just warms the cockles of my heart. And they're laughing too. And it's like, oh, it's not just a senior citizen show. It's the young people, they love it too. And it's like, and also the show it's also a great show for this time period that we're in. So much crap is happening right now. And it's sort of nostalgic in the way like old time radio is. It's like you're going back to a better time when people were face value. That's who they were. And they helped each other out. And I just feel good. I think that's why people love the show. We can't be this way. That's what Fred said. He wants to feel people transformed by the theater. He goes, that's what great theater is. He said, it's not about plot. It's about any literature people out there. They know the difference between plot and story. Plot is just something, but story is about relationships, transformation. And he goes, as long as I want people to feel after an hour and 40 minutes that they're transformed. That's what great theater is, he would say. And it doesn't really matter but I want them transformed.
Yes.
It's a great reminder. No. I think that's why people go, you're not alone. That's what great theaters do. You're not alone. You feel that way too. Thanks for watching this episode of Oregon Life.
Watching this episode of Oregon Life.
Thanks for
Right?
watching this episode
Of Oregon Life.